Many changes on a personal level and, of course, industry-wide. I think on a personal level, technology has done a lot of things for me personally. And first off, I would say in the research mode, it's made research so much easier. Used to be old school research, going to a library, card catalog, looking up things, and it was very difficult to find information. So I mean, this is a very generic statement, I guess, because we all know that the internet has made information accessible to people, but it really has helped so that you can work from home and have access to information, and so that's good in a research sense. So for instance, when I'm trying to learn a new piece of music and I want to learn who the composer is, what other performers have played this and so on, I can go online. There are resources for me to find information on that, not only written information, but now with YouTube, for instance, this has changed the music world greatly, and I see this in my classical guitar performers. You can now witness, an auditory footage of people performing. It used to be you had to go to a concert to hear them and see them playing live. I mean, there were very few videotapes, even back in the 1990s. When I was studying classical guitar, it was, when you wanted to hear one of these great players, you'd get their records, their recordings, but actually seeing them was a big deal. And to witness what they were doing, I mean, there's so much that we get from the visual spectrum. When we're watching someone do something, we think, oh, that's how they do it. Now all that's readily available, and so I think it's changed the learning curve. What used to take forever to learn how to do now can be done very quickly, and so I think that's a hugely important thing, not only for me but for everyone. And it allows you the opportunity to learn things much more rapidly than we were able to in the past. There's an upside and a downside to that, though. The upside is, all this information is readily available. The downside is that all that information is readily available. How do we select from it? And I think people, I don't want to say they get lazy, but I feel like all my students now can just go, oh yeah, it's no big deal what they're doing. I've seen 10,000 people do this. And they kind of discount it because it's so commonplace. And so when I went to witness a live concert and see and hear someone perform in the past, it was a big event. And I felt like it had all of my focus because it was so important, and I latched onto every single aspect of it. Now I can watch video after video after video, and it's like, whatever, no big deal. So I think it's lessened the importance of each event, but it's allowed us to be able to look for whatever we need to find too. So the good and the bad of this. I can understand why people do it. They want to get their product out there, and they want people to know who they are. The problem is when you give your product away for free, it's really difficult to make a living. This is such a utopian view to think that, we just give our product away for free, everybody will love us, and all of a sudden we'll make a living. Well, if you spend, like in my case, for instance, I spent so many years practicing to become a classical guitarist as a profession, that for me to go and make a recording and then give it away for free, doing this. And maybe in the pop music world, it's a little different because there isn't the steep learning curve for learning how to perform on an instrument like there is in the classical professions. But still, case in point, when U2 released that latest recording on its iPhone, first off, I didn't want it on my phone. I mean, I don't dislike that group, but I don't want it on my phone. If I wanted it, I would go and get it. And then for them to, one of the most successful bands in history, to give their product away for free sends a message that, hey, what we're doing is cheap and nobody cares. We're just going to give it away for free. It's no different than someone handing out a flyer on a street corner, like, oh, attention do you pay to it? None. I believe that if we want to have a product and put it out there, it costs a lot to create in the first place. U2 didn't make that for free. It cost them probably several $1 million to make that recording at their level. And so to give it away for free just seems so pointless to me. And then it kills everybody else that's on the lower levels, because now the expectation is that we all give our stuff away for free. It's hard enough for performers to go out now and make a living from a live performance. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s even, when people performed live, the salaries were higher than they actually are today. And I mean the exact amount that was paid. Rock bands in the 70s would get $300-400 a night to perform. that same fee stayed through the 80s and into the early 90s. And today it's even less. Most groups will play in these local pubs and they'll get paid $50 to $100, if anything. And they'll go up there and they'll play and they'll do it for free. They can't make a living doing it anymore. I find it to be very problematic. And you know, it's no different than if I were a plumber or a carpenter to go out and work for free. I mean, who's going to support you then? You know, how do you make a living doing it? And I think that I don't believe in it. And I love the idea of free information and all that, but I don't know. There's different things that I believe could be given away for free, but I don't know. I just don't like the idea of sharing all of your work for free, so I'm against it. This is a work by something that I've recorded recently on an album of all Spanish music. It's a work by Manuel de Falla. It's titled The Miller's Dance.